I really like Jake a lot, you know, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
When in your career are you going to actually fight a contender in your weight class and not do gimmick fights?
I mean, the skill level alone, now of course, there is a size difference, a height difference and all that, but he's just going to struggle so much landing a shot. You know, it's just going to look bad.
In a shocking turn of events, boxing legend Mike Tyson made a surprise appearance at the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Davis press conference, sending shockwaves through the room with a fiery warning to the YouTuber-turned-boxer. Tyson didn't mince words as he cautioned Jake Paul to fight like your life depends on it, making it clear that facing a ruthless fighter like Davis is no game.
You saw Jake Paul's fat body videos, and if you think he's taking his training seriously for you.
Listen, I think he's taking it very, very seriously because his health depends on it. And yeah, he's nobody I'm looking at. I'm not looking past him. I'm taking him lightly.
The bout is officially deemed an exhibition, a designation driven largely by concern over the massive weight and size difference between the two. The Florida Athletic Commission, for instance, would not sanction it as a pro bout given the disparity. Under the rules now agreed upon, they will fight 10 3-minute rounds, both men using 12 gloves, and knockouts will count. Importantly, the decision will be scored by 2 human judges and 1 head judge, a new addition meant to inject more objectivity.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. He said it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Also, Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. It's body punches only. And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win. Reports now suggest that Davis has bulked up during camp and is walking around closer to 160 pounds, even though he has never officially contested above the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. This upward shift, while still shy of 160, would bring him nearer to the catchweight agreed for his exhibition bout with Jake Paul. The extra mass could enhance his punch resistance and power, making him a more dangerous and unpredictable opponent.
Yeah. Gervonta Tank Davis, it's my prediction that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to weigh in on the night of the fight against Jake Paul, knocking on 160 pounds. Don't be surprised if he's 157 pounds, something like that. You guys see this footage? Look at Tank. Now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways. When you look at him sideways and see the depth. See, from the front view, you can't really tell. But when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino out there. And I think that is the idea for him to bulk up and be a little powerhouse out there. And I'm all for it. I'm going to tell you in this video why I think that's the best thing for Tank and why I think he will be knocking on 160 pounds.
Teddy Atlas believes Gervonta Tank Davis is as close to a complete fighter as boxing is right now. He praises Tank not only for devastating power and finishing ability, but also for his counter-punching instincts, the way he sets traps, his control of distance, and his mental fortitude in the ring. Atlas sees Davis as patient when needed, deliberate in his actions, and always thinking 2 steps ahead, never simply relying on brute force. In his view, these qualities make Davis the one boxer among the elite lightweights who has all the tools required to potentially beat someone like Jake Paul, whose style is developing, but whose record doesn't yet reflect elite technical refinement.
The only other time he was in for the fans to get mad with that was against Fury's, Tommy Fury, but it wasn't that level, obviously. And all the size things you just rightfully pointed out. But he would have been in there with, I mean, it seemed crazy. You're going to go in there with a guy who was a 2-time heavyweight champ and a gold medalist? Wow, wow, wow. Even though the guy's, at a twilight part of his career, still.
And you've given a lot of credit and props to Jake Paul on this show of helping get more eyeballs to the sport, but the way he takes it serious and goes about his approach and his work to this craft, that he does take it seriously. With that being said, when he announces Tank Davis, I'm getting tired of these gimmick fights and him loading the deck up. Whether it was Chavez Jr. or an old Mike Tyson, or we could go on and on with some of the UFC guys and the great Anderson Silva at 46 years of age. Tank Davis, great fighter, current fighter, world champion. We know how good he is. Been a top 10 pound-for-pound guy for you for the last few years now. But he's 5'5" and 135 pounds. This sounds like it would be a 195-pound fight, an exhibition. Wouldn't count on their records. Not a whole lot of other details other than it will be in November, and it sounds like in Atlanta. But I've said enough. I just want to hear your take. What do you make of this news with Jake Paul and Tank Davis?
But, and I'm smiling a little bit. But back in the day, I love the 1800s, 1700s, my friend out there, 1700s, whatever. But I love the old-time fighters. They were catchweights. And there was guys like Sam Langford. I know Sam Langford shouldn't even be comparing him with this because...
Brock has issued a stern warning about the safety risks of the next Paul versus Davis on ISA exhibition, highlighting an estimated 65 pounds weight gap.
Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? Let me know what you think. But the AJ fight with Jake Paul's finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing. This is an absolute joke. What next for AJ? We'll get into this, and there's so many questions I want to get into in the next episode. But hope you enjoyed this one. And yeah, I just thought I'd give you a quick update because the news has just come in and I'm just trying to relax and play a bit of golf and I can't. I've got to get it off my chest. I'm going to add it to this video. Hope you enjoy it. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share and subscribe to the best channel in the business, Frotch on Fighting, and we'll see you very soon.
After Jake Paul's convincing win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., analysts have raised the question, is he really ready to face true top 15 or top 20 fighters? While Emiliano Vargas has weighed in on whether Paul now deserves those kinds of matchups, much of the boxing community remains cautious. Eddie Hearn, for example, has argued that although Paul is moving in the right direction and might soon earn something like a WBC ranking, there are many more established, accomplished fighters who still deserve spots above him in the rankings. The debate reflects the tension between Paul's rising profile and whether his past opponents truly test his readiness for elite-level boxing.
My name was mentioned at his press conference and he shit himself, and the fight was just absolutely fucking diabolical. Again, I've said before, he's not a professional boxer. He never will be, and he proves time and time again that he's not a professional fighter. So, Jake Paul, go on, piss off.
I mean, I don't really take Jake Paul that serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. He swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, he's just so much wrong. It's just, everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defence. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level. And then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different. It's like a different sport.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. My brother. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, many veteran fighters and purists have reacted strongly to the idea of Jake Paul being granted a WBC ranking, saying it risks undermining everything the sport stands for. Veteran heavyweight Derek Chisora has been among the most vocal critics. He argues that real boxers earn their rankings through years of hard work, proven records, and beating credible opponents. From Chisora's perspective, handing Paul a spot just for fame or promotional value is unfair to fighters who've bled and sacrificed for theirs.
Any of them hurt you? I just think Chavez didn't get started. That's the only thing. I mean, you can't win.
I want to be world champion. Zerto looks slow as shit tonight.
You can't win if you don't throw, you know, so it was kind of like the Ryan Garcia Rollies thing. You know, Rollies didn't, I mean, Ryan really didn't get started, so, you know.
What do you think about how Jake looked and then fought?
Hey, you know what?
You're very tough.
If he sucked ass, he sucked ass, but he actually looks pretty good. There's people who walking in the gym, you can tell right away if they can box or not, so. He can box, he's selling out, you know, obviously this arena, and the only thing I can do is take a page out of his book and, you know, put it towards my showmanship, so.
You think he's ready for someone like top 15, top 20?
I mean, look, you know, he knows who to fight. Obviously, he's, you know, growing in his career. If he really wants to make a career, I wish him nothing but the best. But I just think that, you know, it's going to be a little longer until then.
Thank you, Emmy. Appreciate it. Oh, give us an update about you. You got a date coming up.
July 26th, Madison Square Garden. I'm ripped up. I'm ready to go. Ran with Manny Pacquiao yesterday, and you know, 15-0 on the way. Let's go, baby.
Thank you, Emmy. Appreciate it, man.
My brother, appreciate it.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith pointed out just how dramatic the size and pedigree gap truly is in the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight. While Jake usually weighs north of 200 pounds, Davis is a lightweight champ with a massive difference that isn't lost on fans or critics. Smith questioned whether promoting such mismatched high-profile events does more harm than good for boxing, warning that spectacles like this risk turning the sport into mere entertainment rather than genuine competition.
The WBC have said they're going to give a cruiserweight ranking to the winner of this fight. Do you think they deserve one?
I don't think so. I don't know why. It's hard enough for real athletes, for real boxers, to gain those rankings, and then suddenly this Solomon Sousa decides to give double ranking because he's getting some greens in his, you know, in his back pocket. No, that is disgrace to boxing.
Pretty pleased with sugar on top? I'm interested. Smith has also delivered a sharp response following the controversial majority draw between Davis and Lamont Roach in March. He emphasized the weight of Davis's impressive record and dismissed any suggestion that criticism was warranted. In his view, Davis had demonstrated true championship poise by refusing to waver under doubt or dispute. His immediate willingness to accept a rematch was framed as the act of a fighter confident in his standing and eager to reaffirm his dominance at the highest level.
Can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested.
Smith argues that for an established and proven champion to fight such an inexperienced or lower-level opponent could damage his reputation. According to him, this matchup is far below Tank's level, which is why he said Tank should be ashamed of it. Stephen A. expressed strong disapproval for the trending mismatched exhibition bouts, including Paul versus Mike Tyson, saying Paul was saddened and even disgusted. Calling out the mismatch more bluntly, he emphasized the need for Paul to face real.
Gervonta Davis might be every bit as box office as Maverick himself. As exciting, as electric, because this dude performs every time out, y'all. Wherever Davis goes, wherever he fights, fans justifiably follow. He's that special. And Davis is without a doubt one of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now. Don't you even doubt it.
Meanwhile, Davis's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, has made it clear that the one person with the talent to actually beat Tank is himself. Ford told Stephen A. Smith that only Tank against Tank. That's the only person that's going to beat Tank because no opponent has pushed him to his limits yet. Ford also emphasized that Tank still hasn't demonstrated his full greatness, and that he's focused on training Davis to bring out even more from his abilities.
Jake Paul is a professional. At some point in time, I don't give a damn if it's a light heavyweight. Better BF, Bivol, a super middleweight, Canelo, Mexican Monster, David Benavidez, somebody that actually has a reputation. The time has come for Jake Paul to step into the ring with a cat who actually boxes for a living and give us that fight. I appreciate the fact of him promoting. I appreciate him having the cachet as a former YouTuber turned boxer. I like Jake Paul. I respect Jake Paul. I'm just saying, because I like him and because I respect him, I want to see him in the ring. And I don't want to hear, I know his numbers are better, but then he's going to say, I don't need Canelo. Canelo needs me. Well, wait a minute. It ain't just about popularity, bro.
Shocker Stevenson didn't hold back, calling the idea of Tank fighting Jake Paul a terrible idea due to their massive size difference. He stressed that Davis should instead take on a real boxer himself, suggesting the exhibition would be disrespectful to the sport compared to a legitimate unification bout involving the best. Stevenson emphasized that Davis could make more money by facing a true elite, framing himself as the more fitting and challenging opponent. While many critics,
Who do you want to see? You, as a guy that's in his trainer, that's like a father figure to him, you're training him all the time, you know him, both y'all from the streets of Baltimore the whole bit. Who do you want to see Tank fight next?
I want him to get all of them that ran their mouth.
Give
You
me the
understand what I'm
names.
saying?
I need names, Calvin. I need names.
You already know. We went down. We working on the big four. It was Garcia. That's the first one. Roma, I hope we get him soon. Shakur, he's going to get it. He know he's going to get it. It's just Bob is in charge of that. You know what I'm saying? Bob know what he's doing over there. You can't tell Bob how to run his game because he's like a vet at this. He's been doing it for so many years. That's going to happen. All the fights that we'll want, they have no choice. They're going to take the fight when it's time to take the fight. It's just right now, who's going to take the fight? That's the question.